places in Columbus. I'll tell you what, all three of these guys could be in NFL camps right now, but I'm glad that you're sitting up here on the desk with us. And I would just love for each of you, because I know you all had decisions to make about whether or not you were going to come back and finish this thing out and give it another run, or if you were going to move on to the next stage of your football career. So, Denzel, I'm going to start with you, because I know you said before the bowl game this was going to be one of the hardest decisions of your life. So how'd you make the choice, and what does it feel like to be back?
Yeah, just a lot of prayer, just being in tune with my Lord, and just understanding that I want to be able to come back and win it all with my brothers here, and get a pair of gold pants, and finish this thing off the right way, and etch my name in history, and etch our names in history as one of the best teams to ever play at Ohio State.
How about you, Emeka? Was this a kind of a group decision? Like, what was the first domino to fall? What was the text thread like?
Yeah, you would actually be surprised. I feel like most players on the team who decided to return kind of went through their own process, and we kind of did everything we did, kind of looked at all the resources we were offered, and we came back to each other, and we were like, I think I want to come back. And we were like, you want to come back? I want to come back too. I want to come back too.
Yeah.
So it was kind of something that we all did individually, but it was very reassuring for me to know that we were all on the same page, and we're trying to etch our names in history, like Denzel said.
And Jack, you grew up in Columbus, and you bleed. And I think the way that you think about Michigan, and I heard what you said about those guys up north earlier, that one of the reasons that you came back was to have another chance at them. So how much was that game specifically circled for you as a reason to come back? But overall, how did you make your decision?
Yeah, I think that for me, growing up in Columbus, being a Buckeye since I can remember, it definitely kind of hits a little closer to home for me. And I know that these guys feel the same way I do up here about those guys up north, and wanting another chance to beat them and do it for the city of Columbus. So for me, when we decided to all come back, I kind of just texted these guys, and I was like, look, we have such a great team, and if we all decide to come back, the chances and opportunities are limitless. We have the team to go accomplish all three of our goals, which is to beat the team up north, win a Big Ten title, and then a national title after that. So that's our main goal and main focus, and that was the biggest factor to my why is coming back.
I'd love to hear about what Ryan Day's reaction was, and I don't know if he found out one at a time, or if you guys kind of told him, that I know you said everybody made their decisions individually, but when you told the coaching staff that you guys were all coming back, what was that moment like?
Well, me and Coach Day were kind of already on the same page. I think it was before the Missouri game. I already told him I'm coming back, and I'm doing this for us and for this team, and he was just pushing me to try to push everyone else to come back too, and that's kind of what it was. And yeah, he was happy. I'm happy. I'm happy I'm here, and sky's the limit for this team this year.
Yeah, I was a little bit different. I kind of took a little bit more time. I was very 50-50 about the decision at first, but I spent a lot of time in prayer, and I felt like the Lord was leading me back to another season. So I went ahead and I told Coach Day, and his reaction was encouraging. He was very fired up. It reminded me of when I told him I was committing to Ohio State, kind of that same reaction. But yeah, we have an amazing chief in Coach Day, and we're glad to rally behind him.
Yeah, to follow what Emeka said, it was kind of like almost committing for a second time when we talked about coming back, and I told Coach Day that I was going to be coming back for my senior year before the Missouri game, as well as Denzel did. And it was just a lot of excitement. I think because Coach Day, a guy that I would play for 100 times over if I could. And I feel like us three up here will say the same thing, that we haven't accomplished the goals that we pledged to when we first came to sign the dotted line and come to Ohio State. So having another opportunity to do that wouldn't have felt right leaving for me and for these guys up here. So knowing that when we told him, and I told Coach Johnson I was coming back for my senior year, it was just a lot of excitement, and it was time to get to work.
I love that, and I think you guys know, I don't have to tell you, but the preseason hype around this team and the excitement for what this team is capable of is as high as it's probably ever been. I think everybody knows you have the pieces. How much are you guys tuned in to all the noise and the hype and the excitement? How much do you kind of try to stay away from it? Like, how much are you guys feeling it within the walls of the locker room?
We do our best to stay away from the noise, cancel it out as much as possible, because they have nothing to do with what we got going on in the Woody. And I feel like sometimes people who have an opinion, their opinion of sheep, and they don't even know how to play the game of football.
Yeah, to go off of what Denzel is saying, it's like every season around this time of year, the hype kind of builds up, and it's the same around Ohio State. So it's not nothing we're not used to. We're used to this. This is our fourth year, our fourth go-around, and there's hype surrounding every season that we're at. There's always the nation's always watching what Ohio State's going to do. So we just keep our head down. We work. We keep everything within the building, like Denzel's saying, and we play for the love of our brothers.
Yeah, I mean, coming to Ohio State and playing for the Buckeyes the past 3 seasons, we always know the expectations are high and that there's a lot riding on us, every year, and a lot of pressure that people like to say. And, Coach Day always says, pressure is privilege, because there's a lot of teams out there that would love to be in our position. And so, we know what it is every day when we come into the Woody, and we do our best, like Denzel said, to keep it on the back burner and focus at the task at hand every day is becoming the best team we possibly can, and the rest will take care of itself.
Well, Coach Day was saying on the podium earlier that it was hard to pick 3 guys to represent this team because there are so many talented stars deserving of sitting up here on this desk and talking about this program. But we just saw that the Big Ten all preseason team was released, and there are 4 Ohio State Buckeyes on that list. And Emeka, your name is on there. But how about the 2 guys sitting next to you didn't even make it? I'm a little bit surprised.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. I don't
Who
really know.
are you going to take off?
Yeah, I mean, if I was the one making the list, both of these dudes would be on it without a shadow of a doubt in my mind. But I know these guys aren't in it for accolades, especially preseason accolades. We're not really too worried about that. We're looking forward to what we can do in the season, and at the end of the year we can look up and see what we did, and I'm sure the outcome is something that these 2 are going to be able to be proud of.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people think, and myself included, that Week 7 game in Eugene, that's going to determine kind of who the top dog is in this conference. And I think you talk about Oregon coming in as one of the 4 new teams from the Pac-12 to join you guys. What has it been like? We've been talking a lot about it, from the media standpoint, but welcoming in 4 West Coast schools, getting to play some of those opponents. What's the sense amongst players?
I mean, they still got to come, put the ball down, line up, and play football. They're coming from a different division. The Big Ten is a different division. Best of luck towards them. But it's gonna be a fun year, and it's not gonna be easy.
Yeah, I mean, Denzel and I are both from the West Coast, so just having that opportunity to play against talents and maybe guys that we might have grown up with is something that we don't take lightly. But the rules of football stay the same, you know what I mean? And, Big Ten football is definitely something different. I'm excited for them to be able to experience it and just to be able to have that opportunity to travel to the West Coast in games like Oregon. I know I'm going to have tons of family members there, so that opportunity in itself is amazing for us to have.
Yeah, I think that these guys hit on some great points. It's exciting to have 4 really good teams joining our conference and having a chance to go out to Eugene, Oregon, and play under the lights out there. It's going to be pretty fun and special for me since I haven't spent much time on the West Coast at all. Never got a chance to see any of those schools. So going in there, being the villain in Eugene is going to be fun. And like Denzel said, wish them, the 4 teams that join, nothing but the best. And it's going to be fun to see them, how they adapt to the Big Ten football.
We talk about pieces coming from the West Coast, and Chip Kelly, who was the former head coach at UCLA, is now going to be calling plays for the Buckeyes. And I think that was one of the big storylines around this team, certainly in Ryan Day handing over those play calling duties to a guy who has really revolutionized college football in many ways. What has it been like? I know he got there in the spring, but Emeka, tell me how you've gotten to know Coach Kelly and what you make of him and how he thinks about football.
Yeah, Coach Kelly. We had an opportunity to exchange a little bit when I was in high school. He recruited me when he was at UCLA, but I didn't have the strongest impression of him then because I didn't spend much time with him. But now that he's here at Ohio State, I couldn't be more happy. I've had conversations with him. I've spent time with him. I've gotten to know his offense, the way his mind works, and I think that's part of why Coach Day is so comfortable in handing him the reins because, first of all, him and Coach Day have worked together before, so they're no strangers to each other. They're great friends, and just for Coach Day's ability to be able to openly give Coach Kelly the offense says a lot about Coach Kelly and the trust that they have with each other, and I've certainly seen that firsthand. I'm excited to see what he implements this season, and I think he's going to use the tools that he has to the best of his ability.
Let's talk about some of those tools because obviously Will Howard comes in from Kansas State, and then you look at Jeremiah Smith, the #1 recruit in the country. You've had some very high praise and some nice NFL comparisons for him. As somebody who has gotten to see him now in camp and seen what he brings to the table, what can you tell us?
Yeah, man, he's one hell of a player. When you look at the prototypical receiver, that's everything that you want in a receiver. He can run routes, he's physical, he's aggressive at the catch point. He knows how to use his body, he's smooth, and he just makes plays. And I'm glad he's on our team. He's going to help us win some games, all of our games this year. And I'm just happy he's part of our team.
I know the playoff and a national championship is obviously the goal. And again, I think we get so caught up in talking about some of the changes because there are so many changes right now going on in college football. But the 12-team playoff, how does that impact how you approach the excitement that you have about what that could mean, not just for Ohio State, but for the game?
I think I would say that, I've always been in favor of adding more teams in the college football playoff. I do know that it extends the season and makes the season a lot longer, a few more games at the end. But I think it just gives teams an opportunity, to go out there and compete for a national championship. I think that in past and really recent years that there's been some teams that have missed out on the playoffs that could have made some noise if it was a 12-team playoff back then. So I think it's a great thing for college football as a whole, and I'm really excited to be a part of it this year.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch you guys play. I think everybody is excited to watch you guys play and see what's coming. I'm going to leave you with one non-football question since that's all you're going to answer all day today. You guys good with the non-football question? Yeah. They look nervous. You guys fans of the Olympics opening ceremony coming on Friday? Okay, if you could be excellent, like gold medal style in any Olympic sport, what would it be?
Track and field.
I said that earlier too. Track and field or boxing.
Two great options. Okay, track
I'd say
and field,
basketball.
Boxing. What is it?
Basketball. I don't want to win a gold medal in basketball.
LeBron needs you.
I know. They need me. If you guys need help, just let me know. I'll make the flight. Coach Day will be cool about it. I can come help you guys get 10 and 10 every day.
I just think there's something special about saying I'm the fastest man in the world. Yeah. That's crazy. I want to be able to say that. Shout out to Usain Bolt.
Amen to that. Well, gentlemen, you guys are terrific to talk to. Thanks so much for stopping by. Excited to watch how this season plays out and enjoy the rest of Media Day.
Yeah, thank you
awesome.
very much.
Thank you so much.
All right.